I'm absolutely sure that you've heard these tracks being sampled multiple times. For example, this one. Extremely catchy, recognizable melody. At least Elder Sensei comes to mind.
Darkness, pretty, crime in my city.
Guilty Simpson, and many others. Let's come to the second track. Again, extremely recognizable flute. Sean Price, of course.
No disrespect to Duck Down Records.
And Pace One, I Declare War.
Yo, Pacer, full clip, one up in the chamber.
Let's go to this one, and here it's 100%, you will guess it. Of course, this is Eminem. Let's continue, our next track is this. Again, I know a lot of tracks that use this sample. Or if we go to the end, again, a lot of tracks use that sample. But why am I bringing all this up? Because we all know how to use whosample.com. And no, we are not going to talk about this today, that's not the point. Today I want to talk about a legendary vinyl collection that changed hip-hop forever. And in fact it became the foundation of an entire subgenre, underground hip-hop. And I'm talking about Dusty Fingers. Absolutely legendary, no exaggeration. Dusty Fingers has this strange magic to it. Every track has been sampled dozens of times, but they still sound fresh, still powerful, almost like the artist is saying, this is the sound I stand with, this is my school.
Yes, this is Dan the Beat Man from Boogie Down Bronx, Dusty Fingers.
In the late 90s, a DJ from the Bronx, Danny Dan the Beat Man, started digging the weirdest, most forgotten records that nobody wanted. Old TV scores, obscure European soundtracks, funk from Brazil, Italian noir jazz, Japanese grooves, and so on and so forth. Dusty cracked vinyl that lived in the bargain bins for years. But Danny Dan had an incredible ear. He picked tracks with dirty breaks, haunting melodies, grit and tension, all with crazy atmosphere. Before that time, hip-hop producers mostly pulled from American funk, soul and jazz. In the 80s, samples were bright, with party vibes, and were major. In the 90s, sampling got darker, but it was still American funk, soul, and you know it. And then came Danny Dan and brought his mystical, foreign texture. And the beauty is, a lot of hip-hop producers didn't even bother chopping the samples, they just took the sample as it was playing, and for example, we all will recognize this part. Let me play you. This is Cool G-Rap, just I think the tempo is a little slower. And this is just a loop. With drums, melody, bass, everything is already there for you. Or for example, if I go to modern days, let's speed it up. There was a track like this, and Necro just used this loop with drums, with melody, everything prepared, and maybe 91, 92 BPM. And there is a track.
We told the arms, clip you like Jimmy Darmody or Pope. Kid, fuck your coat of arms, I'll rip your arms from your coat.
But of course, this is not the only way to work with these samples. And if you are like DJ Premier, you can take the same track. Of course, he reworked a lot of this sound, but it sounds the same. By the way, it's a track for La Coca Nostra, Mind Your Business.
Drop that shit one time.
Officially, the Dusty Fingers series includes 17 volumes, all curated by DJ Danny Dan. But online, I've seen up to 50 volumes, I guess. I'm not sure if Danny Dan curated them by himself, I'm not really sure, but the OG collection, that is the sacred bible of underground beatmaking. If you're just getting into music production, Dusty Fingers collection is your university. Start here and study the material. And by the way, if you have a Dusty Fingers record, at least one, write down in the comments, because it means you are a very cool guy. The records are extremely expensive, it's not only a piece of vinyl, it's a piece of art, it's a piece of collection already. It's very hard to get, especially if you are not in the USA. So if you have one, I envy you. And of course, I'm not just going to talk about the Dusty Fingers, I'm going to show you how you can use these records in your own projects. Let's begin. So today we make a beat using only the samples from the Dusty Fingers collection. And let's start with a melody. Here again I have a very famous, very catchy piano melody, which you've probably heard a couple of times or multiple times. Let's just chop this sample and use it like this. I guess the BPM is going to be 91 or so. It's a little bit sloppy, a little bit off grid, but yet there is some grime to it, some grit, and I like it. Now we need to add the drums, and Dusty Fingers collection is very famous for its drum breaks. I guess it was volume 17 or something like that, but the drum break is... And I don't need to change it. I don't want to change anything, just some tweaking with EQ. But it already sounds cool. So I go to the main screen, and on my audio track I add this drum break. Very simple, but what else do we need? This is underground hip-hop. And I remind you that if you want to learn how to use these instruments professionally, MPC, Push 3 or Roland, sign up for a lesson or course with me. The link is in the description. Let's add some bass, and again it's going to be a sample from Dusty Fingers, you guessed it right. And of course you've probably heard multiple times that bass, which sounds like this. And I will take this first part again. Second track, bass, it's going to be here. Let's tweak warping, 91, do it and fine tune it a little. And now I want to close my fourth, or should I say my eighth bar, with something different, something that DJ Premier usually does. Some weird, obscure sound of birds, clock ticking, or something like that. And again, I have a sample, which a lot of you guys have probably heard, sounds like this. This weird percussion. And again, this is a very famous track, and multiple parts were sampled for different tracks, but I'm going to use that percussion to close my eighth bar. I go to my arranger, it's 4 bars, edit, double length, I select this part, and I will re-record the ending. It's done. Let's listen to the end. I like it. What else do we need? This is underground hip-hop. Okay, let's add some automation on the Q-Link. Not actually automation, but just let's adjust the Q-Link to switch on and off the drums right here. And I go to Q-Link, go to Project 1, Q-Link Edit. I delete everything that exists on my first Q-Link, and I say that it's plus, track, drums, mixer, and mute. Yes. It's going to be off, momentary, on. Yes, let's check. This is what we need. So when I play this track live or just film a video, I can play samples with my left hand and mute and unmute the drums with my right. Not in the mute menu, but just on my arranger screen or home screen. So this is our quick sketch of an underground beat. Is it simple? Quite simple. Is it sounding good? Of course it is. At least I like it. Well, let's listen to the finished version of it. But these are not the only things about sampling. Sampling is so much more, it's an art, and I'm talking about it in these videos. You can watch them.